Hey, Joe Gilder here. Today I want to introduce you to my good buddy Tim Horsley. Tim is a fabulous drummer, a great guy, super nice dude, and a great recordist, if that's a thing. Really good at recording drums. And I want to show you his studio. So you've probably heard Tim's name before. Tim has played on my last 3 record projects and on countless other things that I've done for other clients and such. He's a great drummer. Anytime I've played out live with a band, he has been the drummer, and he rocks my face off. So if you haven't heard his work before, I'm going to flip over and show you a couple of behind-the-scenes B-roll footage of his studio, and I'll play some music with some drums that he's played on in the background. And then Tim will give us the grand guided tour. So I hope you enjoy. Let's check it out. Okay, we're here at Tim Horsley's place. Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Can you show us around, please?
I'd love to. It's my little drum overdub studio.
Love it.
Currently I got set up my Noble and Cooley toms and snare with a Yamaha kick drum. I'm using Heil dynamic microphones on everything up top. I'm using an XY overhead position with some Shures. I think those are KSM 32s.
Which is connected to the rafters,
Yeah, this is a fun part of my studio. I've got different drill marks for different things. That way I can move them around.
That's so great.
But it helps with my footprint down here, so I don't have to worry about sandbags or tripping over something or knocking over an overhead mic and letting it crash onto the floor.
Always good to avoid.
Here around the back, I'm double this part. I built this. I went to Home Depot and built myself a rack. Right? It's just 2x2s, and in it, I'm micing my kick drum on the inside and the outside. Now, sometimes I use this FET that Mojave makes. I like that. But right now, I'm using this broadcaster mic that Heil makes. It hears very, very low frequencies, and if you want, and you're creative, you can turn it into a sub kick. You can actually roll off everything like you put a low pass filter on it, about 200 or lower, depending on your taste, and it just turns into this nice, fun little sub kick.
Nice. So if you can see it, I don't know how you can see it from here, but he's got his in mic going way in.
Yeah, if you want to go around the other side, we can see it from the batter side. It's actually the first microphone I ever purchased. It was a AKG D112 from 1980 something.
The old 112.
Yeah, it's a standard. I think you can see. Oh, it's closed off. I'm sorry, you can't see it from there.
It's just on the other side of there.
It's the wrong kick drum head.
But the idea is you get it right up close to the beater head.
Absolutely. So actually, it's right in the center of the drum.
Okay.
I got it right in the center of the drum. So that it's sort of that the cardio is sort of getting a big picture of the kit. It's not so close you're going to get a bunch of the snare bottom bleed into it. So it's back in the middle of the drum. I put just a simple pillow that touches both heads, but it's also in there to keep the gymnasium effect that happens inside drums from resonating around, and It tightens the sound up really nice. And the D112 is, I mean, that's a close mic kick drum sound. It works really, really, really well.
Yeah.
Switch around here for me, and people sometimes ask how I do this by myself, and it's because of where I've got everything set up behind me. Everything's within reach, so I can sit and listen to a drum, and I can type, and I can, it's all right here. It's like my little cockpit. It's my control center, so I can play the drums and tweak the drums at the same time, and use just gun muffles from Walmart. That's all I do. I put my in-ears in, I put the gun muffles in, that way I'm isolated, my head is anyway, and I can hear the drums and I can hear what's coming through my computer system.
It's a great setup.
I'm using the Daking mic pre EQs for kick, snare, top. The API is snare bottom, tom 1, floor tom 1, floor tom 2, and then this Presonus Digimax Lt. What a reliable piece of gear. I cannot say that enough. I picked this up on eBay, and it is just as clean as a whistle. That's why I have it, because what's running through this are things you don't want mic pre-saturation on. Things like hi-hat, overhead. I want that to be just a very clean sound, very representative of what the microphone's going to give me. And so, like I said, hi-hat, overheads, and rooms. And that's my drum. This is my drum booth. This is how I work. I would like to show you what it's going to be like though when I track, because there's another trick I want to show you. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to set the room up for you and show you what it looks like when I actually track.
Let's do it.
All right. So what I just did was I created two sonic environments. One is out here. I've got oak board paneling set up to reflect sound. I've got concrete. I got 9 feet above me. I try to do anything I can do to keep from having a flat surface, to keep diffusion, have it diffuse the sound as opposed to having a square wave, and it works. I've got several markings on the floor around here where I like to set my room mic, but this particular one has been my classic favorite, which is right here, and there should be a stereo ribbon mic right here. I just didn't get it out. But the other environment is in here. I'm not sure you'll be able to hear it from the camera.
It might be.
But when you step on in there, when you step inside this, what happens is it dries up the sound. And so now I have an environment where overhead mics, if you hit them with any kind of compression, like on a stereo bus, it's not going to sound like a room mic. If you hit snare or kick especially with this cover, you're not going to get a bunch of room sound. You're going to have a nice, tight, controlled drum booth sound. So I got the best of both worlds. And that's why it works.
That's so great. And I can attest, if you've listened to anything I've put out in the last several years, it's all done, for the most part, in this room. It's so good.
Anyway, like I said, and I can tighten this up as much as I want. I've got these beautiful dB reducers on the wall. They help out. They keep that drywall from sounding like drywall. Really tightens the sound up. But in here, it's nice and tight. And then out there, it's nice and roomy. It's nice and roomy, so that's it.
Love it. All right, Timmy, where do people find you?
www.timhorsley.com. TimHorsley.com. Also, search me up on Facebook and Twitter. My Twitter handle is actually at Tim Alpha, because that's actually my middle name. Ask me questions, hit me up.
That was your middle
Yeah,
name.
it's my middle name. Yeah.
You just keep getting cooler.
Friend me, hit me up, ask me questions. I love to talk about this stuff. So.
Here's a question.
Sure.
Do you work remotely with people who need drums, who live far away?
Yes, I do. Go out to my website. I talk specifically about how to... I go out to the website. I have a whole a contact page about how I like to work with clients online, and how I submit tracks back and forth. I've got artists in Australia, Germany, Norway, Mexico. Got 2 guys in Canada and a bunch of people here in the United States that I work with. So
Great. Check him out, everybody.
yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for listening.